Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a quick look here at the top 5 coins I feel have a decent potential to 2 to 3x sometime later this year, if not even sooner, just based on the simple fact that they are hitting some double bottoms, they're breaking some descending trend lines, but more importantly, the macro points of control are being tested. So pending Bitcoin doesn't nosedive to the 70K range, there's a decent chance these coins will excel. Now, ICP is one of those first coins that I want to just kind of touch on. This is more of a standard coin that I feel isn't necessarily a meme coin. Some people might argue that it is, but majority of these coins that I'm looking at here today or will look at with you are in the meme coin category, right? And those aren't coins that I typically like to put a ton of money into. I have small little bags for those just to kind of see where it goes. So that's just kind of a good little disclaimer there for you. Please understand that. All that being said, let's look at the macro here for ICP and just recognize that its bottom, obviously it came down pretty low, as low as about 282 is its lowest point in this more local bottom. So with us being the $5 range, it doesn't mean that we are near our bottom specifically, but I feel like we're getting closer. If you look at this here, our point of control for the entire macro scenario is right here at roughly $4.15. So between $4.15 and the current price point of $5.35 seems like a decent place to consider dollar cost averaging, because the likelihood of a double bottom from a macro perspective could occur. But more recently, we are starting to see a double bottom on the smaller time frames, and it's easier to identify trend reversals by seeing that we're back up above our descending trend line while we're still under some moving averages there, not quite out of the woods yet. I feel this coin has some decent potential. The next one on my list is Dogwifhat. This one comes from having a significant community to back it up. I don't necessarily invest in meme coins a lot, but if I were to, this and Dogecoin are the two that I consider doing so. Once more, as far as that's concerned, nothing like super substantial. I don't recommend you ever put a large percent of your portfolio into coins like this, but this coin does exude some strength in a lot of ways here. First of all, from a macro perspective, we can see we're reaching this double bottom. We are in the bottom, the lower half of the point of control here locally, so that 50 to 55 cent range is a local resistance. But when we look at the bigger picture here, not just has this coin done very well for itself to hit that $3 to $4, almost $5 mark, but if you look previously, the point of control here is between 60 cents as low as about 33 cents. So in that lower range, so I have some limit orders myself between 40 and 30 cents, just every 1 cent effectively on the way down to kind of average into my position to see if we have any luck with this coin later in the year. That being said, Cake would be also another one that was brought to my attention from one of my community members, my admin. His name is Dave. Thank you so much again, Dave, for being an awesome part of my life. Make sure if you guys are part of our Discord community, you jump on over there and get to know our community better. Really good trading community there. So anyways, outside of that, all recommendations aside, the reason why I feel like this coin is looking pretty solid is the overall sense that we have a significant bottom here that, albeit has been tested multiple times, has proven to hold fairly strong. So 140 or upwards of 190, this little range here is a pretty decent range, I feel, worth adding into your position. Now, if we look at the bigger picture here too, there's another reason why this is relevant, is the simple fact that we ICO'd really close to this 150 range, and with us getting in that approximate area, there's a solid chance we do see a potential bounce here. But more importantly, locally here, the reason why it's probably more likely to increase in value in the relative near future is because we're establishing higher lows. We've maintained above our horizontal trend effectively, or this horizontal support at 140. So there's a solid chance I feel this coin should continue to progress higher. Once more, do not put a ton of money into this coin. And if you're going to consider breaking out or being a breakout trader, wait until we're above 260. That's kind of the key level here for a resistance range. But once more, from an overall potential return on investment, this coin does have a tendency of having a lot of good volatility to the upside. Just make sure you set limit orders and don't get too greedy on this coin. Ondo is more of a bigger picture coin that I know there's a lot of followers here for this one. So from a fundamental standpoint with a big backing, this coin is looking like it's more likely to go up than it is to go down. However, we need to recognize from a macro perspective, bigger picture, we are currently testing its point of control. And if you're not familiar with points of control, if you obviously exclude this lower point, because there's going to be more volume when the price point is lower. If you take the last year's worth of trading, ever since March, roughly a year ago today, we can see the most amount of volume is accumulated at 80 cents. So we're right there at 85, local bottom. We've also double bottomed on smaller time frames. And at this point here, haven't broken that local low of roughly 57 cents. So I would say dollar cost averaging into this one would probably be one of the better returns on investment if you were to consider, a slightly larger position size. Dogecoin is one of our final ones. This is our fifth and final, consideration for coins that I feel are going to do well. And the reason why, not just because of all the macro stuff going on with the fundamentals, but more importantly, when we look at the larger picture here, we can see there's a chunk of volume, specifically in the last year's worth of trading since March of last year. We can see the most amount of positions are averaged out at 16 cents. So it does reaffirm that 16 cents is a solid support range for us. While we could still come lower, as low as just say 10 cents for our local bottom from September of last year, there's a solid chance that we recover from here, pending we don't have any super obnoxious sell-offs from Bitcoin. So a lot of these recommendations are based on Bitcoin not selling off. I feel like we're getting closer to our bottom at the upper 70, low 80K range for Bitcoin. And if that level does hold, a lot of these altcoins are starting to double bottom out and essentially reach their points of control, which once more, in the last year, we can see the average is about roughly 16 cents. Very last one is a little bonus here, but this is because I cover SUI or SUI, however you want to pronounce it. People make fun of me because of how I say that. But to me, ticker symbols are acronyms, so that's how I say it. Anyways, this is part of the SUI community, and the reason why it's has a significant backing is because of that. The main concept here is that there's a lot of reasons why this coin will probably continue further higher if it's anything similar to how well the SUI coin is done. If you're not familiar, I cover that coin daily. It's a very strong coin that at this point here, of course, is kind of stuck in a lower range. But outside of recommending this coin as well, this one here, I think it's pronounced Walrus, is the long term there for this coin, WAL, if you'd like. This coin, while outside of any technical analysis, would be one worth considering throwing a little bit of money into and maybe setting a limit order at the $1 or $2 mark. Oftentimes coins like this don't do super well, but now that the volatility has kind of subsided, it's performing much better than expected, specifically after its ICO, sell-off here. So again, the price pumped up to like 60 cents, retraced all the way down to like 38. And now we're back up to retest that level. Here we can see the price action retesting that high. So decent chance this coin would be worth the investment. Just don't put all your eggs into the one basket right now. I think it's a bit on the overextended side, but consider averaging into a position on this coin too. So those are the coins that I feel could have some potential. Once more, to ensure that you understand, my recommendation here is not to go all in. The concept for these kind of trades is to just, buy a little bit today and perhaps double or triple your investment here within 6 to 12 months. That's the concept. So I'm going to continue to bring these to you here moving forward. If you like the content, please comment below, subscribe, of course, and follow. If you haven't yet already, join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and just make sure that you live the best life possible, right? That's the whole concept. And if so, let me know how you're living. It's awesome to be able to have such amazing community members in our group. So you want to join us up or join up with us? It's all available here for you. We have a lot of good content rolling out here through the channel. So anyways, it's all available there for you. I hope that you learned something today. Thanks so much again for watching. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.